All right, hello, welcome back. So, yeah, got 10 days to release, as Luca here mentions. Welcome back, by the way, great to see you. So 10 days to release, and I really don't have much to do with the game except create more content, but one of the most commonly requested features is the controller support. That's right. So controller support is one of the things that most people are asking for, and so I figured, well, I've got 10 days until release. I've got basically nothing to do on the game except content development, so I'm going to take a few days out of that 10 days, see if I can, in a reasonable amount of time, add controller support to the game. And now the thing about controller support is that it's relatively easy to do for the movement, and the shooting and whatnot. So let me just run this real quick and I'll show you. The problem is that my UIs are rather complex, and so trying to get controller to work nicely on that is a huge effort. But you can see here I've got a controller up, and yeah, I got some aiming and everything, got dodging in place. I mean, this is the easy part, right? Even going up and opening up menus by just pressing the right button there. That's all easy to do. The problem is once you get into those menus, navigating, this one wouldn't be so hard to do, but doing something like the gun parts table, handling scrolls. The big one that I'm working on right now is the Gunforge UI here, because this is one of the critical screens in the game and also one of the most complex. So I have it so that I can navigate with the controller here, and then I can pick things up. But the problem is that with the system that I'm currently using, I can't actually trigger a drop event with the controller. So when I try to go to either of these gun parts or either of these guns here, I have no way of using a controller to actually drop those things. So that's a huge problem, right? And there's a bunch of other issues as well, but you know, that's what we're going to be working on. So there's a lot to do. I am probably going to have to make my own drag and drop system. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing on the stream right now. But anyway, before I get into it, I want to remind everyone that Gunforge releases on the 17th of February of this month. So definitely check that out in the description below. Wishlist it, all that good stuff. I've also got my Udemy courses available for sale. Those things are all in the description below, so please check that out. So let's get right into it. Hello, Any welcome back. How do I feel? I'm feeling good about the game release, yeah. I think I would like to see a couple more YouTubers play it, especially YouTubers that have a more moderately sized audience. That would be nice, but you know, I just started sending emails out early this week, so, and we're still over a week out until the release. So that should give them plenty of time to get through any backlog that they have if they're interested in playing Gunforged, and then a lot of them might be publishing their videos closer to release, I don't know. But I feel generally good. I was checking the Steam popular upcoming for roguelikes, and Gunforged is on the second page of popular upcoming for roguelikes, so hopefully my hope is that as the release date gets closer, and also as these YouTube videos get posted and as wish lists climb a little bit, that's going to start the snowball where it gets shown to more people organically on the Steam store, and then it gets more wish lists and so on and so forth. But we'll see. Hello, Splat. Welcome back. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit terrible. Give me 1 second real quick. All right, sorry about that. So I'm going to need to use a different drag and drop system here. And I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do that. So what I'm gonna do is, let's go to my gun part inventory button. All of this drag data in here. Yeah, this all needs to go. All right. So I'm going to start doing my own little drag system here. So we'll get rid of that drag stuff. We're going to get rid of this get drag data, get rid of handle click to drag. No, we'll keep that there, but we'll just get rid of this. Get rid of get drag data. Disable drag, I don't know. Probably need that at some point. Get drag data, we're going to get rid of that. Begin drag, this all is going to change. Okay. All right. Hello, Pixel Pilgrims Studios. Welcome. Great to see you. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this begin drag. I think what I'll do is I'll take the stuff. So I've got this gun part drag preview here. I think what I'll do... Frink. I think what I'll do is I will... Let's add this dot add to group. I'm going to try to do this as simply as possible. So we're going to add this to the group. We are going to public void. Actually, I'm not even going to do that. I'm not going to be super careful with this. Let's see, public gun part drag data, drag data, like so. So what I'm going to do is public override void ready. Let's create an update position method in here. We're going to take this. We're going to call update position inside of this as well. Okay, public override void. No, not public override void. No, what am I doing? Private. I get into this mode where like I'm not focused on what I immediately need to do, and I start thinking about like my down the line steps, and then I lose track of what I'm doing in the moment. I gotta stop doing that. Okay, so global position manager or global input manager is using keyboard control dot position. So this we can actually get rid of all that. So instead of this, we'll just set global position is equal to get global mouse position. Okay, so I have to handle keyboard and mouse, or yeah, keyboard and mouse separate from controller. So basically what this is saying is that if I'm using the keyboard, which is, it should be keyboard and mouse, then we're going to set the global position to the mouse's position. Otherwise, we are going to set this drag preview to the focused controls position plus half of its offset. So that's going to be what's going to be used for the drag and drop system here. And let me go to my gun part inventory button. This begin drag here. I can take this, that's fine. We can set the texture. We can set all this, we can set that, that's fine. Drag began, maybe we can keep that, but let's do data, gun part drag data. And we need to say gun part drag preview dot drag data is equal to data. Actually, we'll just combine these down. Okay. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is we can grab this. We don't need that anymore. We don't need to return anything. So this gun part drag preview, I'm just going to go ahead and do I want to let me think. I think what I can do is I can say gun part drag preview dot top level is equal to true, and then add child gun part drag preview. So it's kind of weird because it's going to be, this drag preview is going to be added as a child of this inventory button. But since this inventory button is what's spawning it, I think that's fine. So this begin drag, there's no force anymore, so we're going to get rid of that. Where's this begin drag at? Handle click to drag, so I'm going to need to do this for sure. Okay. Now I'm sure there's going to be an error here, so I'm going to build that. Are you going to keep streaming here after the release? Yeah, I am. I have to figure out what I'm going to be doing. It might be, you know, just Gunforge fixes and content development for a little bit after the release, but I might also work on some other prototypes or something. Are you implementing controllers or just filtering out controller inputs? I'm implementing controller. What made you change your mind this late? Well, I have 10 days until release, and the only things that I have really on my backlog to do are content things, which would be great. I mean, I still want to add a bunch of content, but given that my content backlog is a little bit thin, I'm kind of like running out of ideas for things to add. I figured, well, this might be the most productive way. Is if a bunch of people are asking for controller support, and I figured, well, if I can get controller support done and working in like 2 or 3 out of the 10 days, right, then that gives me plenty of time to still add content to the game as well. So I just have time, basically. That's what's going on. Because I've been working so much lately, I've gotten through huge chunks of my backlog faster than I thought I would. So now that I have time, I might as well try to give the people what they want, right? But I don't usually play games with a controller, and I also, oh, that's working actually relatively nicely. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, since I don't really play controller games that much with this kind of UI, it's going to be a little bit difficult, I think, to get the UI working in a let's say a very smooth way, but we're going to see. Okay, so that's working great. So I need to look for everywhere where GUI get drag data is being done. Okay, so I'm going to do something really nasty, but that's fine. Public static gun part drag data, get gun drag data, get gun part drag data. This, look at how nasty this is going to be. I'm just doing an extension method here. This node 2D node.get tree.get first node in group gun part drag preview. Drag data. Look at that. Return. Okay, and then let's do the same thing for rune drag data. Get rune drag data. This is going to be inventory slot. No, wait. Oh no, rune drag preview. And then I'm going to go here. Okay. So those extensions are so that when I look at my find here, no, what was I looking for? Yeah, here. Assembled gun drop area. So this notification drag begin. I'm gonna probably need to get rid of that. Right. Yeah. Okay. I don't know what I'm gonna do here. Notification drag begin. Notification drag end. Oh man, this is so... I kind of want to What are my auto loads here? Audio helper cursor. Do I want to just put it in the game events or global input manager maybe? Would that be a sensible place to put? Yeah, that might be a sensible place to put drag notifications. Why not? It is a global input manager after all. If I had like a UI manager, I'd put it in there, but let's just do this. Public delegate void drag began event handler. Signal public delegate void drag ended event handler. So I'm trying to make this mirror the Godot drag and drop system as much as possible in terms of the code that's going on. So I'm not using composition or anything. I'm basically just using the gun part drag preview as the visual and data container. And then what I can do with these extension methods that I wrote is I can just check if there's currently a drag operation happening by seeing if there's either gun part drag data or rune drag data here. And I could even create a separate extension method that calls both of these to see like is dragging or something like that. But anyway, that is beside the point. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Public static void emit drag began. Instance dot emit signal name dot drag began. Oops, too many. Emit drag ended. Drag ended. Okay. So then I'm just going to do something very easy in here. On ready, I'm going to say, or should I do it on notification? Let's just do it. Game or global input manager dot emit drag began. And then before we delete it, global input manager dot emit drag ended. And we can add extra arguments to there as well, but I guess I'm gonna have to figure out, you know what, I might do this in the exit tree instead. There we go. Okay. Hello, Mr. Portier. Hoary Portier. Welcome back. Try to keep an ear on the stream as much as possible to help. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for your donation, Snup Bill, for the IDR 10,000. Very much appreciate that. And we've got the classic message yummers here. Thank you. Thank you. That's always appreciated. Okay. So we've got this global input manager, emit drag began, emit drag ended. So now if I go back to these gun part inventory buttons, notification drag end. So I don't have a drag is successful. So I'll just get that out. What we're going to do in here is on ready. We're going to do global input manager dot instance dot connect, global input manager dot signal name dot drag ended, callable dot from on drag ended, on drag ended. If was dragging, am I setting this to true here? Oh, I am. Very nice. A lot of this stuff too is gonna be cleared up because I was doing a bunch of weird stuff to make sure that the ordering was correct. So is using keyboard callable at from. Okay, that's fine. Get rid of that. Hello, Ariane. How are you doing? Welcome back. Let's just build and make sure. This notification, oh yeah, I was going to change this. So I need to change this to global input manager. Global input manager dot instance dot connect. Global input manager dot signal name dot drag began. Callable dot from on drag began. And then we'll go ahead and do the same for drag ended on drag ended. Private void on drag began. Private void on drag ended. Okay. On drag began is there. And this is on drag ended here. Okay, if get drag data, so this is the thing where I'm going to do this. If this dot get gun part drag data. Okay, it doesn't want to recognize my extension methods. Did I do my extension method wrong? Get gun part drag data. So node extensions. Using game utils. Using game.utils. I don't know why that's not automatically detecting that. Oh, I did the node extension wrong, that's why. I put node 2D instead of regular node. Okay, so yeah, so if there is a non-null get gun part drag data, then we'll do that. All right, let's see how much. I mean, I'm just gonna. This whole UI is gonna be broken for some time, I think. But we'll do minor baby steps here. We'll just pick this up. Okay, that's all working. Of course, it can't actually accept the input, and I also can't cancel the operation. So that's wonderful. Okay. But what you can see though, is that I can still pick things up, and then it highlights the appropriate drop area. And I should be able to see that that works somewhat with the controller still as well. So if I do this, yeah, okay. So we're almost there. And by almost there, I mean, there's only like 30 more hours that needs to be put into the screen, but it's minor improvements coming along. I'm gonna have to fix a ton of errors and whatnot too, I'm sure, but basically we got to go through, delete every place where I've done some built-in drag and drop handling, and I need to replace that with my new way of doing it. But we're gonna get that gun parts working first, so we're just gonna keep identifying issues one by one and fixing it. This system that I'm building right now is actually going to be a lot more robust and reliable, I think, because I was doing a bunch of hacky stuff to get the sequencing of a lot of the drag and drop events to work properly with the built-in way. And doing it this way, not only is it going to make it work for a controller, but it's also going to just generally be a cleaner solution. So it's a lot of work to undo, but you know, one thing at a time. So it's moving, yes indeed. Welcome back. And I've got this separate branch to controller support, so if it doesn't work out, I can just go back to the master branch and it'll be as if nothing happened. So, the next thing I need to do probably is make that accept the drop. So if I go to my assembled gun drop area, we've got can drop data, etc. So what I'm going to do here instead is I'm going to do this. I'm going to say, so probably want to do public override void GUI input. Okay. So we need to detect a couple of things. If evt.isActionPressed. Private static read-only string name action UI accept private static read-only string name action UI or action click left. So I'm going to do this. If is action pressed, action UI accept, or evt.isAction. And the reason I'm doing just is action is because I want to eventually, one of the problems with the system I'm making right now is that the only way to initiate the drag and drop is to just single click on the gun part and then click again on the drop area. But I want to support that case as well as clicking, holding, and dragging, and then releasing the button over the drag area to drop it, right? And so the reason why I'm just going to check is action here is because that click left will then be detected for released and pressed actions. So if I do click left in here, now I need to do another check. So I've done these checks. I'm going to say var drag data is equal to this dot get gun part drag data. If drag data is equal to null, we're just going to return. Otherwise, we're going to call this drop data here. And this, fortunately, can just be done like this. So I can say emit signal, signal name, gun part data dropped. And I also need to cancel the drop animation. So shoot. So we're going to pass in this drag data here. What I need to do is I need a way of canceling. So in this gun part drag preview, I should probably... I'm just gonna do this. There could be a little bit of sequencing trouble here because I'm emitting this drag ended signal, but I'm emitting that drop signal. So let me think. I don't think it's going to be, well, we'll just see what problems come up, but I'm going to do another static extension method. I'm going to say public static void cancel drag operation, this node. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say get first node in group, or do I want to do that? Let's just do get nodes in group dot queue free all. And then we'll do the same for the rune. Obviously this kind of system that I'm doing is not scalable. If I had multiple kind of drag and drop containers, I'd be designing this much differently, but the only two things in the game that can be dragged and dropped are gun parts and runes. So I don't think I need to come up with like a hyper generalized drag and drop system here. Not yet anyway. Okay, so basically what's going to happen here is that if we have an active drag operation, if the data is null, it means there is none. If we have an active drag operation, what we're going to do is we're actually going to call this .cancel drag operation so that it cancels that, but then we're going to pass that drag data along in this gun part drag data dropped. So hopefully, so now I can get rid of all this. This get drag data here can go away. And so we've already got a slimmed down script. And we got the GUI input here. Oh, I also need to do accept event in here. Okay. I don't know if I've ever told the chat this before, but I really don't like doing UI stuff. Like this is borderline torturous for me. So, you know, the things I do for you guys though, you guys wanted controller support, so. That's what we're doing. Oh my gosh, is it working? Check this out. Boom, boom, boom. Bam! Get the chicken barrel on the shotgun over there. Okay, so there's a couple of UX things to consider here, but for the most part, this is looking... And let me just make sure the mouse works as well. So I also have it so that... it doesn't work. Okay. I also have it set up in the game so that you can switch between controller and mouse and keyboard seamlessly. So you can go like this, you know, whatever, but then you can go, oh, grab the controller, and that takes over and hides the mouse. So... yeah, I think... I don't know, I think that's just nice. It was relatively easy to do as well. The other thing that I have to do basically for this UI is I'm making everything focus-based. So previously I was making everything hover-based, like mouse hover mode. But what I'm doing instead is focus mode. So like these are highlighted now not because they're hovered, but because they're focused. And what I did is to preserve the functionality of the mouse enter, mouse leave that I was using before. Now I just make mouse entering forcibly focus the element that it's over. So everything is focus based now, with the mouse triggering a grab of the focus for anything that it hovers over. And the benefit of that is that I can keep all my code largely in place. It's just now I'm changing the focus state of the element to highlight it rather than the hover state of the element, if that makes sense. You may have mentioned it. Yeah. Console plebs and their controller needs. I would like controller support too, yeah. It looks nice right now. Awesome. Yeah, it's getting there. I mean, the main reason why it's going to be possible. It's just there's going to be a lot of little stuff to handle, and you know, making sure all the focus stuff works. You know, obviously once I place this, like, where's my focus now, right? I got to bring the focus back over to the reasonable spot. I have to make these able to be placed into the correct slots, you know. And then other minor things too, like making the bumpers potentially change. Making the bumpers potentially change the UI context that you're in, stuff like that. But anyway, did I even test the mouse? I don't remember. Okay, yeah, that works. So clicking and dragging doesn't work anymore. I'm sure I can figure that out. I'm not worried about that, so I'm not going to handle that just yet. The big thing that I need to handle now is... So the big thing that I need to handle is when I grab this, it should not focus these anymore. It should snap to one of these, and I also shouldn't be able to look at the X here. I shouldn't be able to focus that. So I should really only be able to focus either of these things. And that's it. I shouldn't really be able to hover over any of these things. But the first thing that I want to do is make it able to cancel the drag operation. Get viewport as null. I don't know why that's happening, but that's all right. Okay, so gun part drag preview. So I'm going to do an unhandled input in here. Public override void unhandled input. Private static read only string name UI cancel. evt.isActionPressed UI cancel. We're going to accept the event. Or, wait, do I want to do GUI input for this? I probably want to do GUI input, actually. Oh, wait, I don't think that this can accept GUI input. Oh, maybe it can. Okay, hold on. Let's do GUI input. We're going to call queue free. And that queue free should trigger the drag ended. So I should be able to press B or escape now to cancel a drag event. Oops. Why is this happening? Okay, I'm gonna have some bugs to fix, I guess. In anywho. Okay, so UI cancel is not working for some reason. The GUI input must not be getting to this, so maybe I'll just do unhandled input and see if that works. I should probably figure out why the GUI input isn't getting there, but should be the B button for canceling on my Xbox controller. Okay, that works. See, I lose my focus now, so I'm gonna have to do that, but let's see. It does not work for some reason with escape though. Is it the case? I didn't think that these... Which order? I thought unhandled input went from bottom up, but maybe I'm wrong. Propagates up through the node tree until a node consumes it. So yeah, since it's going up through the let's see. Because I'm creating the gun part drag preview as a child of whatever button was dragged. So that would be one of these. So it's deeper in the tree, which means that that unhandled input should be getting into it. The blocking UI component here is what's handling... Oh, it's an input. Why is it an input? Oh, goodness. Does input go bottom up too, or does it go... I think input goes top down, right? No, up through the node tree. Okay. So the problem here is that it's handling the input at the blocking UI component first, which is responsible for freeing. And that's because input gets propagated before unhandled input. So the easy way to fix that would just be to change this to input here. And now this should be detected first. And it should intercept that escape key. So if I do this, Kerblamski, and now I should be able to hit escape. Perfect. So now when I hit escape while I'm dragging, it ends the drag first. And then that's the same for if I'm using the controller. So I can press B to cancel the drag operation. And the other problem with this too is I don't know how I'm gonna show the players all the keybinds for the controller on this screen. If you haven't noticed, I don't really have any room. A lot of people say, well, you have room down here, but this is like reserved space because these rune rows can grow and cover that space, so I can't safely put anything there either. But we're gonna just do one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Now, one thing that's bothering me is that if I... Goodness gracious, okay. There's a lot going on here. While I'm in here, though, click right. Oops. Just get the small things working first and build up, you know? That's the only way to do it. So I need to disable the focus mode of these things when a drag begins, but that should be relatively easy actually. Now I can press right click as well. Why is that not? Oh, you know what? Interesting, okay. I think I just need to set top level there. The effects were just getting abruptly cleared, but I think that's because they were not being set at top level. So if I do this, nope, that did not work. Drag preview particles. I might need to, let me think. If I change this to a control, ignore this. Yeah, okay. I don't know about that anchor there, but that's fine. And I go in here. I think this was wrong the whole time anyway. New animation name, or no. I just need to get rid of this. Add track, call method track here. Cue free. I think that's wrong in the master branch too, but okay. Let's see if that works. It didn't work because I need to change this to control. All right, let's see. Why is that happening? Why are things disappearing? What's going on? Okay, I did something wrong. What is going on? All right, so something's very wrong here. I don't know what's going on. Basically, these particles are disappearing behind the remove child trail. Oh. Oh, I see. I think I did this all wrong. Shoot. I know what was happening now. Drag preview particles. I'm just going to get rid of this. Discard changes. Discard changes. I think this was correct because this is getting deleted. So what I need to do actually is I just need to set the trail to top level. That's what I was missing. Okay. Thank goodness for Git. There we go. So now those effects are not disappearing behind. They're just dying right there naturally. Okay, cool. Well, that was a long detour for something relatively minor, but I'm trying to maintain like one-to-one functionality as I'm building this back up. So it's better just to handle the bugs as I come across them, I think. Okay, so this is working great now, and I can cancel. Now the problem is I can still select these. So this focus needs to be disabled when the drag begins. So that should be relatively easy, I think. So we'll go to the gun part inventory button here. So on drag begin, what we're going to do is we're going to in here set focus mode is equal to focus mode enum.none. And then we need to make sure to reset that in here. Okay, so now when begin drag is called here, what I want to do is I'm going to do this. I might go to my assembled gun drop area here. Add that to the group. I'm going to go back to my node extensions here. Focus, first gun part drop area, assembled gun drop area, get first node and group, grab focus. Actually, maybe I shouldn't do that here, actually. No, I shouldn't do that here. I should do that in the assembled gun drop area. Let me think. On drag began. If not global input manager dot is using keyboard, and do I not have a way of determining which gun slot this is for? Assembled gun drop area. Man, why has everything got to be difficult? I need to grab a focus. I need to grab focus for this assembled gun drop area. So I guess what I can do is I'll just move this out into this assembled gun ingot. So in here, what I'll do, global input manager dot instance dot connect. Why is this being so slow? Dot connect global input manager dot signal name dot drag began, callable dot from on drag began, private void on drag began. If global input manager not is using keyboard, and this dot get gun part drag data is not equal to null. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, oh, and if gun slot is equal to gun slot dot left, so we only want to do it for the one that's on the left, is using keyboard. Yes. What we're going to do here is we're going to say assembled gun drop area dot grab focus. All right, let's see if that works at all. How do you prevent the players from directly editing their data? Are you encrypting when saving and then decrypting when loading? Yes. Yeah, so it's encrypted with a very basic, like it's just a very basic encryption password. Anyone that wants to decrypt the data can definitely do it. But yeah, it's an encrypted JSON file, so it's just garbage. And if you try to edit it, you'll probably, no, not probably, you will corrupt the data. So yeah, that's just to discourage people who don't know what they're doing from making an edit to the JSON that could be detrimental. But anyone that's sufficiently motivated can still do so. So it's not the rule of thumb is that anything that's on the client side is inherently insecure. And the thing about encrypting save games is that, you know, it has to know what key to use for encrypting, and the key is stored in the exe in the PCK. So it's like, you know, it's not for security purposes, it's for obfuscatory purposes. Okay, that seemed to work great. So yeah, so check this out. I select this, it immediately pops me over to this side. Now I need to disable the focus mode for the stuff that's not valid. So I'm gonna need to do the same thing now for, yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff which needs to have its focus disabled. So like that needs to have its focus disabled. These all need to have their focus disabled. The reroll button needs to have its focus disabled. So I may actually, okay, let me just do, yeah, I might do that. Let's see. This reroll button is actually my own scene, which is an ingot button. So in here, I might just disable it in here. So game or global input manager dot instance dot drag began or dot connect global input manager dot instance dot drag began signal name dot drag began callable dot from on drag began. So this is going to be redundant for a lot of the buttons, but or not necessary. Private void on drag began. Private void on drag ended. I actually am just going to set focus mode equals focus mode enum.none. Focus mode is equal to focus mode enum.all. Okay, so that should handle that. And then if I go to my inventory slot, in here, we're gonna do the same thing. Okay, so I haven't even handled these ones yet. So that'll be the next thing that we handle, but let me go to my close texture button now. And I'm gonna do the same thing in here. So I actually need to add a script. Game.ui. And just to avoid typing all that redundant stuff again, we're just gonna go ahead and copy this, paste it over here. Actually don't need this scene attribute there. Hello, Neozoid. Lurking, yes indeed. Hello, I'm late once again. That's all right. Thank you so much for the €2 super chat. Very much appreciate that. It's very generous. Thank you, thank you. Private void on drag began. On drag ended. Focus mode. Let's go to focus mode dot none. So this should help, because if I'm in a dragging operation, like there are just certain things that shouldn't be selectable. So let's see if all of that works. We're getting there. We're getting there very, very slowly and very surely. We're getting there. So if I select this now, I can still select the runes down below, but I'm not able to select the reroll button or anything like that. So then I can do this, bam, and I can check it with the mouse too. So if I do this, nothing is draggable, and I guess I should handle clicking outside. Yeah, the nice thing about, oh, these should be disabled as well. The nice thing about the drag and drop system before is that I could detect clicks that happen anywhere. And maybe I'll do that. I wonder if I could do that. There's a little glitch that's happening. I don't know if you can see that. It's a little bit too quick. Okay. So I can do this, and now once I disable the focus mode for these things, I'm going to be able to do this very easily. I need to send the focus back over as well. So, yeah. Got to make the button have a better focus state as well. That resets the focus whenever I reroll. That's not good. But this is feeling pretty good, actually. I need to make those tooltips able to go away. Toggleable in some way. But yeah, there's a lot to do still. There's a lot to do still, that's for sure. But one thing at a time. There is one thing that I want to do, which is that I want to test that in this gun part drag preview, in the input here, or the unhandled input, I guess. If evt.is action pressed, click left. I'm going to queue free and get viewport.set input as handled. Hopefully that will allow me to cancel a drag operation by clicking somewhere invalid. I hope that's what happens anyway. We'll see. This control can't grab focus. I don't know why that happened, but gotta disable those tooltips as well when something's dragging. Might as well do that right now. I'm getting a lot of errors here. I'll figure out what to do with those later. Oh my gosh, there's so much. Okay, anyway. Those labels. Stat label. Where's the tooltip actually? Oh, here's the tooltip, okay. You know what, maybe I'll just handle that later. That seems like something I should do last, because I still need to figure out if I want the player to be able to pull up those tooltips when you hover over these stats with the controller. I probably need to, yeah, I need to figure that out. Probably will be some kind of button you'll have to press to enter selecting these, and then you can scroll down. But yeah, shoot. There's so much. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So the next thing to do... The next thing to do is to get those inventory slots working. So those are the runes, basically. And I still have all kinds of old notification code in here for the dragging. So gonna need to rework that next, and that's fine though. Yeah, let me think. Yeah, I mean, there's just a couple, I guess there's really just a couple of minor kind of UX things that I still need to tackle here. And then I need to add some proper focus states for the button and all that. But, and then the tooltips, I need to figure out what to do with the tooltips and how that should work on controller, but you know, it's getting there. And then of course, like this is not the only screen, right? Although I am designing it in a way such that I'm not really having to touch the meat of what's already written in this UI, because I'm basically just replacing all the signals I'm already using. I'm like sort of just replacing the underlying functionality without actually changing when and how the signals are emitted. So I'm basically getting a lot of this functionality for free by replacing it with my own system. So I'm hoping that as a result, most of the other screens should just work. But it's gonna be a little bit tricky. I mean, there's a big question about how like this screen is gonna work, you know. But I just have to go through every screen and like work on that, and then I have to update the controller prompts for everything. It's gonna be a lot, but gonna get this screen done first, and then just tackle those issues one at a time, you know. But I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break here. I got to get a refill on my drink. But in the meantime, please check out the links in the description below. I've got Gunforged. It's coming out on the 17th, so wishlist that if you haven't already. You can also check out my Udemy courses. Those are also linked below. And yeah, give me a couple minutes. I'll be right back, and we'll continue on with the drag and drop controller support. All right, I'm back. And I have awoken the beast. Come here, bud. This guy is going to ruin the stream. Aren't you, buddy? Aren't you, bud? Yes. All right, let's get right back into it. So, the rune inventory slots. Inventory slot. OMG kitty, yes. Cats are wonderful creatures. Are you coming? Okay. So this now, I need to, let me think. I need to, yeah, basically replace all this notification drag stuff. If ants enabled. Okay, so basically this. Oh, shoot. Okay. I am once again going to copy and paste this. Big ol' line here. Okay, on drag began. So luckily this logic is pretty easy just to translate over. Private void on drag began. Private void on drag ended. Swag. You okay, bud? So on drag end, all this stuff, we're gonna drag that on over, or not drag, but cut and paste. If was dragging, we can say was dragging equals false. Drag ended. Mouse entered. Yeah, that's fine. We can leave that there. Okay, and then here, on drag began, if ants enabled, and this needs to be now this.get rune drag data. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's right. When is was dragging set? Oh, begin drag, right. Okay, I need to change all this too. Oh, right. Is long drag? What the heck, man? Okay, so basically I need to do the same thing that I did for the gun part inventory button, which is that, so gun or rune drag preview, gun part drag preview. So I'm going to copy this, exit tree notification, put that right back in there. And then in the, I'm going to need to do update position as well. So there's going to be a lot of similarity here, but might as well copy these as well. Yeah. Just drag this on over. I'm duplicating these names a lot, but at this point, I don't care. I just want the game to be done. I'm sure I'm going to regret doing this in the future, but that's all right. So let's see. Process. Right. So process method here. I'm going to call, let's create an update position. Oh, look at that. It's basically a copy paste. So we'll call update position there. When am I calling drag began? Oh, here, ready. Oh, I see. I'm just doing it in here. So we'll do it in the ready method. So as soon as this enters the tree, that fires the drag began signal, which is nice. All of this container, get drag data, BS can go away. Okay. Gun part inventory button. No. This over here. Okay, so in begin drag, where is this being called? Handle clicked drag. Those are the only two places. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this force here because that makes no sense. We're going to get rid of this. Drag preview. Data, set force invisible. True was dragging true. This is void. Is long drag? I don't know what that means, but that's fine. Okay, so then in my gun part inventory button, what I did is I set it to top level and then added it as a child. So let's do that. So rune drag preview dot drag data is equal to data. Actually, let's just go ahead and copy and paste that over. Rune drag preview. Let's do set force invisible up here. Okay. Why is this a problem? Oh, this is I don't need that. Drop data. I think what I need to do is shoot. I think I need to copy what was in the assembled gun area here. Assembled gun drop area. GUI input, action UI acceptor, action click left. Yeah, check the, yeah, so I need to do all of this here. So previously, this is what was happening here. So let's do this. Action UI accept. Oops. Oops. Get rune drag data, cancel drag operation, accept event, yes. Oh, I already have a GUI input. All right. I don't know why that was all the way down here. Okay. Well, I have no clue if that's going to work, but let's see. What's up, Strim and Strimmer? Welcome back, Adaton. Good to see you. All right, let's see. Yep, take your time, Godot. Yep. All right, let's see. Okay, so it is not working. Time to figure out why. These inventory slots are a little bit weird. That might be why. Mouse filter, stop. Focus mode. Get rune drag. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I'm not. Yep, I didn't add it to this group. It needs to be added to the group for rune drag preview. That was the one thing I forgot to do. Man, I'm glad I remembered that because otherwise I would have spent forever. Okay. Hey, there we go. I got some errors though, so that's not a good sign, but okay, so I should be able to do this. Drag that over, put this over here. I probably want to skip those locked ones. I mean, yeah, I don't know, because you still should be able to see what those are like, but put that there, drag this over, re-roll those parts. Okay, it's getting there. I think what I need to do is, so let me keep a list of things that I want to do. So after equipping a gun part, equipping or canceling a gun part, I need to focus the source index. Okay. What else? So the rune inventory seems to be working, but I've got some errors here. Parameter get viewport is null. On drag ended. Why is that happening? Is that in 305 it said? Get global mouse position. On drag ended. Drag ended is being sent from here. It's saying that its viewport is null? I don't understand. I don't understand. So that chunk of code there is basically so that I'm just going to get rid of this. That's not working. I'm going to do the same thing for the gun part inventory button, wherever that is. Yeah, get rid of that. I'm going to just get rid of that. It's just causing problems right now, and it's not even working, so. All right, so let me play around with this UI some more. I'm just going to keep making various tweaks and changes to it until it's feeling good, and then I gotta figure out what to do about these tooltips. I also need to do this. So if those assembled gun drop areas these focus modes need to be off by default. So focus mode is equal to focus mode none. Let me see. Yeah, so I need to set that to focus mode none when drag begins. Focus mode equals focus mode dot all. I hope that works. Okay, let's try this again. Into what var? Yeah, I mean that's how the docs say to do it. I mean you can obviously name it something else, but I think that that might just be the default how it works. All right, so this isn't working. Something went horrendously wrong. So moving those around works. That's great. Need to change that button focus. These can still be focused for some reason. So let me change that. Inventory slot on drag began. Else if this dot get gun part drag data is equal to or not equal to null. Focus mode is equal to focus mode enum.none. Focus mode is equal to focus mode enum.all. Okay. So now when I grab these, I should basically be trapped in between just these two. Yeah, I can't go anywhere else, which is great. And I can do that. So I need to send the focus back over here then. That button lack of focus is annoying me, so I'm going to actually fix that. Work on inventory slot focus modes and drag and drop. All right, let's go to this button. There's also some other problems with this button here, which I'm going to work on here. So this is an ingot button. So if I go to my theme, ingot button, there's something weird. Oh, here we go. Font. I think I just need to set these all to white. I think that's a modulate, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it's not. The problem is that the text for the ingot button ends up being I don't actually know how this is working, but all right, well, let's just go ahead and see. Oh wait, I didn't accomplish my mission. My mission was to theme font. Okay, so yeah, I need to go into here. This style box for hover. We're gonna copy this and put it into focus. And then I'm actually going to get rid of hover. Do I want to do that? And then in here, let's do this. Mouse entered plus equals on mouse entered. Okay, I have no clue if that's going to work, but let's see. So the button should be turning yellow now when you select it. Okay, but the font isn't changing. Gee dang it. Of course that doesn't work. Why would it work? Why would it work? It would be so silly of me to expect that that would work. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought it would work. Okay, so let's just put that back the way that it was. I think the focus style is like expected to be an outline. But it's not. In my case, it's not an outline. But I could be wrong about that. What am I actually doing in here? So all I'm doing is changing the font based on what the state is. So this, can I do is focused? Get viewport.gui focus owner equals this. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe that's what I need to do, and then I can add that focus state back here. I just don't think that that's... I think the focus is something that gets added to the button rather than changing the button texture. So I might have to play around with that. For the purple banner, left and right, gun, is that a shader or just an animation? It's a shader, yeah. Shader that's modifying the texture UV based on a sine wave. Yeah, see, so the problem is that that focus texture stays even when I press the button. But I don't know how to... Can I manually set the hover state here? I don't know. Ah, Godot, why do you have to make everything difficult? How am I going to do this? So I'm grabbing the focus of button now for controller purposes, but I'm not... I want to highlight the whole button as yellow like it's being hovered with the mouse when it's focused by a controller. The problem is Godot doesn't treat the focus style the same as the hover style. In other words, the focus style remains no matter what state the button is in. I guess that's just expected to just be there the entire time it's focused, but I don't want that. So I don't know, actually don't know how to accomplish what I need to accomplish, aside from adding theme overrides here, which would be a little bit not good. I guess I just have to modify it in here, honestly. Private bool is focused or hovered. What did I just do? Private bool is focused or hovered. Return so on button pressed, add theme style box override, private read only string name theme focus. So this focus down here, where is that? Focus. So it's displayed over the base style box, so partially transparent style box. Yeah, so that's the problem. So focus, private, static, read only, style box empty. Style box empty equals new. Theme focus, style box empty. So is focused or hovered and button pressed and not disabled. If disabled, remove if has style box override, theme focus, remove style box override, theme focus. I should probably do that check in here too. I'm actually not sure if the check is necessary, but might as well prevent it from doing any unnecessary operations. All right, so what I've basically done is I'm hiding that focus style box when it's not in a normal state. So here, that didn't work. Didn't work. Why didn't it work? So if not disabled and not button pressed, if has theme, yeah, it's removing it. Wait, is focused hovered? This should be add theme font override. Did I do this wrong? Oh wait, no. Yeah, we want to add an empty stylebox empty override if it's pressed and hovered and focused or hovered. If not has theme stylebox override. That's what I need. Okay. Watch me struggle. It's never been so correct. Yeah. This is painful. I really wish hovering for buttons was better. There's no signal for it unless I'm very blind. Probably have to make my own signal. Yeah, I mean, I think you're just expected to use the mouse entered signal. But yeah, there's some stuff with the UI that could be done a little bit better, I think, in terms of developer experience. Hello, Perseverance. I'm doing well. How are you doing? Okay, there we go, finally. And the text is wrong, though. Oh, no, it's just not... Okay. Oh, I did this wrong. I'm just doing everything wrong. Okay, I think I got it. So I basically have to add my own theme overrides to these buttons to make them work the way that I want to with the focus mode, but that's fine. So yeah, so now you can see that I can press and hold, or I can just leave to cancel it. And when I'm focused onto it, it turns yellow as appropriate. And if I do this, now the problem is if it's disabled, I need to disable, I think, the focus mode. So let's see. If disabled focus mode is equal to focus mode none. I actually don't know how that's going to work. I might need it to grab the focus of something else. Oh. Yeah, it's not going to work anyway. These focuses being grabbed there are a little bit annoying, but now suddenly that's not working either. What is happening? Okay, now that works. Doesn't like when the mouse is over something, maybe? No, I don't know what was going on there. Mouse entered? We'll have to give that a look. Yeah. Yeah, you got mouse entered and mouse leave signals that you can use. I lose the focus when I cancel, so yeah, that needs to be fixed as well. And this reroll is just focusing things weirdly. Okay. All right, well, we're getting there. We're getting there. Add focus state for ingot button. All right, so if I go back to my Gunforge UI now, grab focus. I don't want to put this in here. I need to grab that initial focus, but I don't want to do it in a very weird way, but I might have to. Yeah, one of the problems is that whenever set part options is called, it's recreating all of the buttons, which is going to be somewhat of a pain, but got this hovered part index, which is somewhat of a problem here. Let's do this. If hovered part index is less than 0 and global input manager.is using keyboard, we're going to, when is this changed? Is this changed in on focus entered? Yeah, okay. So if it's less than 0 and the global input manager is using not is using keyboard, then what I'll do is I'll grab parts grid container. Well, let's see. Var child index is equal to mathf.clamp. Hovered part index between 0 and parts grid container.get child count -1. And then I'm going to say parts grid container get child gun part inventory button, and we're going to take that child index and focus it and grab focus. So this should work, because if it's less than 0. I don't know why this is, I don't know why this is so complicated. Hovered part index. Why am I resetting the hovered part index in here? I don't even know if I need this. I'm just going to delete that. That's the safe thing to do. If you don't know if you need something, just delete it. Sure enough, mouse entered exited worked for what I needed. TY, you're welcome. You are welcome. You're a friendly neighborhood Godot expert. Is that, I think I can call myself a Godot expert. I don't think that's factually untrue. Let's see. These tooltips are annoying me. All right. So what am I testing? I completely forgot. Oh yeah, if I re-roll, yeah, it keeps snapping me back. I don't want that. I don't want that. So I'm just gonna, I don't want to do this, but private bool grabbed initial focus. if not grabbed initial focus, and global manager. If hovered part index is greater than -1. Okay, I think that should be fine. And then grabbed initial focus equals false. Okay. So I'm trying to get it so that when I first load up the screen, it's going to focus the gun part here, which I can't really tell if it did or not because my tooltip's in their way. That's all right. Okay, so it focused the first item here. And if I re-roll, why does it keep robbing me of my focus? Come on. Come on. I don't understand that. Grab focus. If not, oh, because I forgot to set this to true. My bad. ID 10T error. The Godot expert is checking in with his very basic logic error. Hello, Slavi. Welcome back. How are you doing? Okay, so if I do reroll, so now I can stay on the reroll here without that ripping my focus away from me. And then if I grab these, I can do that. Now if I cancel that operation, that is the thing that needs to be handled. That's a disgusting looking gun. If I cancel the drag operation, I need to be sent back to this one. So I actually don't know how to detect a drag operation. GUI is dragging. I don't think I actually need this anymore. I don't need that GUI is dragging because I'm turning the focus off for all of those. Okay. I'm just going to get rid of all this stuff. I might get rid of all those, okay. All those extra, like these things, like I can shift right click to equip to the right gun. I don't think anyone uses that, and it's just adding complexity, so I might remove that. It will declutter a lot of the screen too. Doing pretty good, that's good. Glad to hear it. I've got all of these errors here too. I don't know why this is happening. Hovered part index. Oh, I just changed a bunch of code, so maybe I should restart this. What kind of content might be interesting for viewers of game dev YouTubers? Oh, are you thinking about doing... Oh. The question went away. What kind of content might be interesting for viewers of game dev YouTubers? For viewers of game dev YouTubers? Yeah, I mean, I think you can kind of see on YouTube, if you do searches, what content is popular. A lot of people like the kind of videos of like day in the life of a game developer or indie developer or whatever, or, you know, I did this interesting thing with my game. You know, like challenges. People like watching game jam content. So when I was doing a lot of game jams, I would just record a bunch as I was building the game for the game jam, and then I had a video just like, hey, I made this X game in 48 hours or whatever. People love that kind of stuff. But yeah, you could definitely take a look on YouTube, see what's popular with like just go and sort by like videos of the last month and search like indie game devlog or something, and then you'll find which kind of videos get the most views, and then you can kind of get inspiration from that. Why am I doing that? Trying to clean up these warnings here. These warnings were a little bit concerning. Oh, when I enter. Oh, I see. So grab focus prints an error if it doesn't have the right focus mode. So I can just check it in here if button dot focus mode is not equal to focus mode enum dot none. That should get rid of those warnings. I wish it would just silently fail. I kind of don't like the fact that it prints an error or a warning there, but I guess it makes sense. Okay, so no more warnings. An example channel got around 500k views on a game jam video only from their second video, which made it get 10k followers. Yeah, if you make something that the algorithm likes for some reason, it's gonna be good. This is so, if focus mode enum, if focus mode is not equal to focus mode enum dot none. Okay, I guess I'll just have to check that everywhere where I'm grabbing focus. That's coming up because like I'm detecting mouse enter, and then the mouse enter is immediately trying to grab the focus of some items, but it prints a warning if it doesn't have the proper focus mode for that. Okay. Oh, goodness. So the mouse is still working great, and then of course I can go to the controller here. Maybe I should disable the innate affixes when you're dragging, but then allow selecting them when you're not dragging. Disable focus mode of innate affixes when dragging. All right. The other thing I need to do is, like, if you move the mouse and you lose focus of some items, I need to make it so that when you press a button on the controller, it detects that there's nothing focused, and it will grab the focus of something on the screen. So what I might do is, let me think. I don't know. There's a lot to do here. I just gotta keep going one thing at a time. These tooltips are really annoying me, so I might handle that next, but let's disable those innate affix focus modes when dragging. So if I go to my inventory slot, so on drag began, play can drop anim. I think what I can do in here else if rune drag data not equal to null and is innate focus mode. Oh wait. If rune drag data is not equal to null and is innate, or so if we have rune drag data but it's an innate rune slot, we're going to set that to focus mode none. Otherwise, if we're dragging not rune data, but gun part drag data, we're going to set the focus mode to none. And so now, I can go in here. Oh, that's not right. I need to disable those as well. Okay. So, assembled gun drop area. On drag began, this needs to be set if only the gun part drag data is what's being dragged. Getting there. Very, very slowly but surely getting there. And then I have to do all the other screens too. But most of the stuff that I'm doing right now is actually going to be very portable over to the other screens. So that's good. I need to make that focus return properly when the drag ends. Yeah. Goodness. The other thing about this is that it's a little bit nerve-wracking to release something like controller support this close to release, but I figure if I can get it done by like, what is today Friday? Yeah. If I can get it done by like tomorrow and I can play test it a bunch before release, then that's going to be good. And I think I can always just disable controller support pretty easily if I need to test it more. But yeah, it's just like all these little behaviors are going to have to be completely reliable. And I'm not sure how doable that's going to be. There's a lot happening, but hopefully I'll be able to catch any errors. And I can also add any fallbacks too, like in case the focus does get lost in a weird way. As long as I'm detecting that, hey, a controller input was pressed, but there is no currently focused thing. So, go ahead and grab focus of something. Like as long as I have a fallback, it's going to be, I'm just going to need to make sure that the system is very robust and that you're never going to be in a situation like this where nothing is focused and my controller doesn't do anything because it's got no focus. It's just, yeah, it's just got to be very, very careful, I guess. That's all. I can share my indie game passion projects to even mobile games, but would you say diversifying the channel to even software development or artistic challenges like modeling, art, or poetry will work? I mean, I think the general advice on YouTube is that you want to occupy a niche, and if your content is too variable, then you're kind of targeting a bunch of different audiences at the same time, which, I mean, you can do that, but I guess, yeah, the advice that I've seen on the internet and what I've done is like just make my channel very focused. So like my channel almost has too many, audience types, because I've got people that watch my devlogs, but then I've got like tutorial content, which is more technical, and the overlap between people who watch devlogs and do the actual technical work. There is some overlap, but there's a lot of people that watch indie game devlogs just for entertainment, then they're not actually game developers. And so those kinds of people are obviously not going to watch the tutorial content that I put out. So I would say you could probably cover a couple of different areas, but I don't think you would be able to stretch it that far. But I don't know if you can find a way to tie all those things into like a single thing, like game development. Like you could do like a poetry game, right? You could tie that in, and that would still be in that niche. Right, modeling certainly would be in there. You can, if you're doing a devlog, you can show the modeling process a little bit, give people an insight into how you're doing it. But regular software development, I don't know, unless you're doing like just a general challenge channel where you're doing like, hey, can I churn through 1 trillion rows of data in a weekend? Or can I make a game in 24 hours? I don't know. More artistic content, but I feel like it might be too hard. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what it's all aiming towards. If the artistic content is in service of like the other game development content that you're making, then I think that would be fine. But if your art content is like, well, you're doing fine art, you're painting on a canvas, and then the next video you're making an indie game devlog, I think that those just covered 2 different audiences. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right, work on controller, drag and drop. Okay, so I am going to go and eat. I've got to go get some food. But thank you all for struggling with me. I don't know if this was a super entertaining stream because it was mostly just me working through a bunch of UI problems, but you know, it's getting there, and I'm feeling a lot more optimistic about controller support now than I was this morning. Because I actually, you know, on the stream here, we actually got through a bunch of the issues. One of the big issues that I was kind of dreading was moving away from the Godot drag and drop system, the built-in drag and drop system, and then moving to my own. But that actually ended up being relatively easy, and the way in which I changed how the drag and drop works actually had a minimal impact on really the beef of the script here. This Gunforge UI, I was like dreading that I would have to go in and change a bunch of this stuff. I mean, this is 500 lines of UI code. But I didn't need to end up changing that much at all, and because of the way that I implemented the new drag and drop system. So feeling much better. I think that once this Gunforge UI is in place and feeling good, and I get all the tooltips in order, it's going to be easy to take those things to the other screens in the game. But still a lot to do. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm working on this for the next 16 hours of like work time, not sequentially, but just like total work time. There's a lot to do. I got to do tooltips and stuff, and dynamically change how the hotkeys are showed to the user, whether you're using a controller or keyboard or not. I got to allow rebinding of controller buttons as well, which I already have keybinds in there, but just getting all that data, that new data set up in the UI with, you know, saving that data to the options file. There's a lot to do. So I'll probably be doing a stream at some point this weekend for fun. So hit the notification bell to be notified when I'm going live. And it's fine. Have a good day. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I learned a lot. Good. What am I going to eat? McDonald's. I'm going to eat McDonald's. I eat way too much McDonald's, but the way I justify it is like I'm working really hard, so I'm going to have my McDonald's, dang it. Started using Obsidian, but I haven't seen a real YouTuber share how they think of ideas and document them, or even projects in it. Could you show us real quick? I don't really use it for documentation necessarily. I just use it for just tracking. Basically, anytime an idea comes to me about Gunforged, I put it in one of a couple lanes, backlog to do progress, or like polish or ideation. And I just like, as things come to me, I write them down. And then once you've got enough of a backlog, then you can start prioritizing and say, okay, I want to do this one, so I'll drag it over to my to-do list. It's not, there's no right or wrong way to do it. I just break up the ideas here into discrete chunks of work, and then that's each card, and then I can just prioritize that as I see fit. So it's just basically like a dynamic to-do list, really. That's all it is. Yum, yes indeed. All right, thanks again everyone for your support, and thank you for watching. Thank you to all the lurkers and VOD watchers out there. Don't I organize vid ideas? Yes, I have a separate Kanban board up here called personal board where I just throw a bunch of my video ideas. It's the same idea though. It's like, oh, here's a video I'd like to make. I write a 1-sentence blurb and I put it in the Kanban board. Cool. All right. Thanks again, everyone. Check out the links in the description below, and I will see you in the next stream. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.